Hey, it's Dr. Dawn, and guess what? It's Mystical Monday. I am your host. I am happy that we are all gathered here again, yet for another Monday, a mystical Monday that is. You know, we got to let our chat come in because we got to get the people ready to start chit chatting because we got a lot to talk about tonight. But before we can start talking, we got to count it down and allow everybody time to come into the chat. All right, I'll see you in 30. Hey everybody, I see you guys coming in the chat. Everybody's saying hello. Hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome. If it's your first time, I'm glad you made it here with us. Yay, we don't bite. It's a good group. We all family here. If you are a returning person, hey y'all, hey, welcome back, welcome back. It's good to see you. I hope everybody is in good spirit, good energy, good awareness tonight. This has been a good day for me. Not just a good day, but a good last couple of days, I must say. A lot of things happening here on the planet, a lot of things being illuminated, a lot of things just being brought to our awareness that were kept hidden, but are now like jumping out at us based on what the planet is doing and what is happening on the trajectory of this universal shift. I know you guys are feeling it. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. But tonight we're gonna get into that 5D life. Sometimes we always got to revisit that 5D life because everybody keep walking around talking about they in 5D. So we always got to revisit what does 5D mean to you? Because as we shift, 5D and its meaning changes with all of us based on our perceptions. And if we keep evolving, our perceptions are going to keep evolving. I see the people coming in the chat. Y'all, if you here tonight, let me hear you say hey. Y'all put a little wave in the chat so y'all can say hi. I love seeing you guys. I want to make sure that you guys feel included in Mystical Monday because the chat is all about you guys, not just me. I need the chat to help me chat it up with these topics and these different experiences and thoughts and ideas that we're sharing across these here airways for the collective. Hello, Ascension 2024 chat. Welcome. They always showing up and showing out, and I thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, Hutch. Thank you so much. Somebody said they set their alarm for Mystical Mondays and just woke up from a nap. I love it. So you refreshed, right? I love it. Hi there, everyone. Hello. Hey, I love see the people got to say hi. For those of you who watching the replay, if you don't want to leave me a comment or you don't want to leave a question, just put a little wave in the chat and say, hey. I love for the people to say, hey, y'all, you gotta the more energy, more interactions we have, that's energy out, energy in, energy out, energy in. I like that energetic exchange. Oh, somebody said they finally caught me live. Hey, come on, peaceful healers. Welcome. Yeah, see, let me tell y'all something. Woo! I'm trying to, not trying, let me change that word. I have been doing some things on my end to try to keep the momentum going, specifically with people who are keeping up with me in terms of not just following me on my platforms, but you guys are investing your time, your money. I got people enrolled in my psychic development course. Yay! I love it. I actually had two people that had to um, step out for medical reasons and one for work related reasons. And so I got two openings and I'm advertising that like crazy. I'm even adding a discount code, $100 discount off of the psychic development course for anyone who registers before I shut these doors and can consume those two spots that became available. And the promo code for that class is psychic, PSYCHIC, all caps 2024. If you're interested in the psychic development course, I'm going to pin it down at the bottom in case you forget or in case you're watching the replay. I love to have an even number in that class because I got some activities planned and I need it to be even numbers. So this is all to my liking. Spirit may say, girl, the people who's supposed to be there are there and in there. Go with it, run with it, and move on. But I just can't not satisfy that urge to give someone else the opportunity to come on in if they so see fit to do so. So just want to start off with telling you guys that that is available. I want to also reiterate that I am not currently not doing any one-on-one sessions for June, the month of June and July. I'm booking for August. And people are going in August, but I just want you guys to be aware of that because people have been DMing me. Are you okay? What's wrong? People don't watch me on Mystical Monday, so they're not aware of me saying I won't be doing one-on-ones for June and July, but definitely book for August because look, when that fills up, I'll be booking for September. So we're gonna get these one-on-ones in, you guys, because I'm gonna maybe go ahead and do that throughout the rest of this year because I don't know what next year is going to bring. I don't know about the one-on-ones for next year. So we're going to get those in. We're going to get them in this year. So if you have been thinking about getting a one-on-one or you've been skeptical or you've been considering, you might want to just consider a little harder. I'm just giving you the heads up. And so book it. You make sure you book it if you feel the need. Okay. The people coming in, y'all here. All right. I got all that out the way. Now, first and foremost, I told you guys we're going to talk about living that 5D life because everybody in that chat, if I asked you right now, y'all will say y'all were in the fifth dimension. Or if you weren't in the fifth dimension, you'll say you close to it, right? Ain't that what we do in the spiritual community? We all put ourselves in 5D. Well, let's get into that because right now, a lot of people have been feeling not just stagnant, but they know something is coming. They like something on the horizon. I can feel it. I know it's coming. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know it's coming, because we know that as above, so below. We know some things are happening in the stars that are aligning us with some new things that are happening around the corner. So right now, everyone is being placed in their designated positions. Ooh, this is an exciting time. What does that look like? Some people are being shifted in terms of their environments. People are moving. Some people are switching and jumping over into new relationships. New relationships, newfound soul circles. Like all this stuff is happening right now because everybody getting in position. We're getting in position. So we got to talk about not just being in position, but we got to talk about a little bit about the 5D experience, okay? Because some of us need a little refresher a little bit because some of us get a little bit too big for our bridges as we start to ascend and evolve. And we sometimes need some reminders in terms of what's going on in our lives because we put those 5D glasses on and we kind of see things from that lens, but we're not seeing the whole lens. Our 5D glasses are smudged. Some of us are kind of not able to see clearly. So let's review consciousness, if you will. Let's do that. Consciousness comes in three levels. We know it comes in body, mind, and soul. With body being the lowest level of consciousness because it's density, right? This third dimensional body is dense. And I ain't just talking about because I'm not my ideal weight. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about with this flesh comes the energy of density, all right? That density can be measured in frequency. Yes, it can. If you are vibrating at 20 to 175 hertz, from 20 hertz to 175 hertz, you know what you're feeling right about now in your energy field? Desire, fear, guilt, shame, grief, and pride. Now, I talked about this a little bit in my shadow work session last Thursday, but I got to bring it up here too because it's going to set the precedence for what I'm talking about. If you're vibrating in that third dimensional realm, those feelings and emotions I just mentioned are not your regular, but they're frequenting or they're intermittently coming in and out of your experience. Okay. Now, just because you vibrate in 3D don't mean you stay in there, y'all. Understand that. People get so frustrated when they say, "Oh, I need to raise my frequency. Oh, I need to get higher." But look, you vibrating in and out of all these different frequencies. Okay. I'm giving you a point of reference so you know when you're vibrating in these frequencies where you are. I'm even putting some hertz with it. If y'all want some hertz levels to associate with it, I'm giving it to you because a lot of you are listening to the frequency music, right? You listen to the frequency music. Come on, get into what is the corresponding frequency music that you're needing to listen to clear out some emotions and energies at these levels, okay? So 20 to 175 hertz. That's 3D, baby. We're dealing with this dense body. Come on, let's move up to 4D, the mind. Mm. When we get into the mind, well, let me back up. In that 3D, we're operating in duality and separation. What does that mean, duality and separation? Well, we see things as good and bad in 3D, right? And we also in 3D are sometimes finding ourselves disconnected from the source, AKA God, okay? Which is why we get those lower dimensional frequency emotions, guilt, fear. Those are coming from a disconnection from source, okay? Now, let me move into the mind. So the mind would be 4D. That's where a lot of us are right now. It operates in duality. Operates in duality. That's 200 to 400 hertz. That's about where you're vibrating. If you're in that fourth dimensional realm, okay, y'all buzzing, y'all vibrating, your frequency is radiating outward. You can't see it, but you can feel it, okay? When you're in that 4D mindset or that 4D level of consciousness operating in duality, you're going to do things like reason through stuff. You're going to find yourself going through or experiencing acceptance. You're going to be in a place of willingness. Yeah. And then you're going to be in neutrality. Neutrality is going to be your new mantra. I'm just going to remain neutral and observe. I'm going to try to demonstrate a place of just being, okay, in that fourth dimension. Okay. Courage. Exhibiting courage is also associated with that fourth dimensional way of being. Now, remember, that's the mind. You're operating from the mind. That third dimension, you're operating from the body. You're operating from the body. Now you're getting into the mind. Okay. So if a lot of us are in 4D, a lot of us are in 4D, that means we're still operating in duality. We're still in that mindset or that understanding or experience of you take the good, you take the bad, right? We're still in it. Even though we consciously are integrating the duality into the higher frequencies so that we can kind of pivot, shift, and move into the higher realms. We're still ultimately operating in duality. Now, I want to explain something to you guys. You're going to see a lot of rhetoric and a lot of things on social media, basically with various people claiming that they're in the 5D, they're living in 5D. I'm not discrediting that. I'm not saying that that's incorrect. I mean, I too we dabble in 5D. The question that you want to ask or consider when you hear that or when you experience it is how long are you in the 5D experience? Because look, ultimately, most of us now are in the practice, if you will, of increasing the amount of time we spend in the 5D awareness and reality and level of consciousness. That's where we're all mostly at right now, increasing our time in 5D. Now, I'm not going to look, I can't say never and I can't say nobody, but there are very few who are ultimately living and remaining in 5D consistently all the time in this moment. Now, who did that before or who transcended that? Those things or those beings that you've read about, Buddha, Jesus, they all ascended to that and beyond. So if that gives you a point of reference in terms of getting up there and staying there, how likely that is at this point. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not, but we're all in the energy and the momentum of increasing the amount of time we stay in 5D. Now, I can say all day long, oh, I'm in a place of neutrality. I'm observing. Yeah, to a certain extent and for a certain amount of time. But can Dawn say that there's never a moment where she doesn't find herself demonstrating a third dimensional emotion? No, I can't say that. Is there ever a time where Dawn doesn't demonstrate a fourth dimensional emotion? Reasoning skills, willingness. Nope. So if you're still demonstrating just an inkling of these emotions, fear, guilt, shame, envy, inadequacy, all of those. If you experience it a little bit, you're not in 5D consistently. Okay, let's be clear on that. Let's be clear that right now we're shifting all through these levels of consciousness because we are addressing and becoming connected to the things that are coming up for us, that are being projected into our awareness for us to make light of, to illuminate, so that we can heal and clear. We're all doing that. If you have anybody in the spiritual community that is telling you otherwise, y'all look at them like this a little bit. Look a little bit like this, because your intuition and your higher self is going to be your gauge. It's going to be your gauge. But for the most part, always look beyond the words that people are saying, because they can say a lot that sounds good to y'all. I done heard some good stuff on these social platforms that would make me want to say, oh, wow, oh, I want to be like her or him. Oh, I want to do that. But that's what it's designed to do. Y'all got to be mindful that in 5D, the systems are crumbling in terms of the planet Earth, right? Be careful that you're not creating or falling into another system of like false idolatry, celebrity, but just in a different realm, aka spirituality. Because a lot of you guys are doing that. I had a client tell me 2 weeks ago, I want to be like you. I said, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't want to be like anybody but yourself, because there's only one you. When you start idolizing or wanting to be like somebody else, y'all slipping. Y'all slipping down to 3D, because that's what 3D is about: looking, idolizing, celebrating somebody else, but not you. So be mindful when you start following, signing up, and being connected. Even me. Be mindful when you start getting connected to people outside of you, because your internal self is showing you, ding 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 ding, we need to bring something to your awareness. You in 3D right now. You're looking outside of you and not within you. We got to do some work. See, a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people don't realize that. Hutch made a good point. He says, be your authentic self. That's what we're doing now. That's what we're doing right now. Being our authentic selves, which is why I put that on my platforms today with this title. Because if you're not being authentically you, you're not moving into the fifth dimensional realm. Not doing it. Because the fifth dimension consists of authenticity, 100%. Understand that, y'all. This is why the 4D mind that I told you, one of the characteristics is courage. Baby, you get in the fourth dimension, courage comes out. Let me tell y'all something. I'm going to be transparent. That's what y'all want too. That's another thing. People who you find yourself drawn to, watch how transparent they are. If they always appear perfect and primed and together and on point and just, then you got to sit back and go, wait a minute now. Nobody down here is perfect and without flaws. None of us. We may not share them, but we all got them, right? The person who is open, who is able to exhibit courage, as that fourth dimensional emotion was described to us a few minutes ago, in that level of consciousness, y'all look for that person. Y'all look for that person because y'all know, oh, they evolving, because they being transparent. They opening up. They're sharing. They're taking a step out of their comfort zone. Let me tell y'all something about being courageous. I realized when I was doing my shadow work session last Thursday, I was looking back when I was uploading some stuff from my program that I use. I said, On Mondays, I have my hair natural, right? Then on Thursdays, when I do the shadow work session, I usually have a wig on, y'all, on Thursdays. I said, now what's that about? Self? How am I, having my natural hair on Mondays, and then on Thursday, I'm wearing a wig. Now, y'all hadn't even clued into that. I just was like, I thought, there's no such thing as coincidence. Okay? Your energy guides you. So look, I said my outer is matching my inner. On Mondays, this mystical Monday, I feel like I am not just being mystical and sharing, divine knowledge and wisdom to the collective, but I feel so connected to source. I feel so high vibe. I feel so evolved on Mondays. On Thursdays, baby, it's a different energy on shadow work. Y'all think it's just for y'all. See, you all are a projection of me. I'm projecting my reality in front of me. So whatever I'm talking to you guys about on Thursday, I'm projecting it from within myself. And so look, when I put that wig on, that wig symbolizes covering up. What does the shadow do? It covers up, don't it? Don't it? And then on Mondays, I'm illuminated. See, that light comes. And then on Thursdays, I'm covering up the shadow because that shadow is coming through on Thursdays for clearing, coming through for healing, coming through for transmutation. So the courage is a little different on Thursday than it is on Monday. Y'all watch yourselves now. Watch what you're doing now and what your actions are speaking to you internally about your healing. About your healing. You see? So now I find myself being drawn to people or other beings here on their journey who are very transparent, who are very authentic. I love a person on social media who could say, give me an information and say, oh, you know what? I got this from so and so. They giving credit to another person because the ego ain't there. They ain't trying to take it all. Some of them will be transparent. Baby, they will break down and cry on you in front of that camera. I love those ones. I love it. I love the beings who are being authentically them. Because see, if you're not authentic right now, my radar picks you up from a mile away. And I don't want to be bothered. I don't even want to waste my energy. That's how you guys got to get. You guys got to get real particular about your energy and where you're placing it at all times. At all times. Because look, this shifting you're doing, 3D, 4D, I ain't got to 5D yet, but just between the 3 and the 4D, y'all shifted back and forth between them like crazy when you're on social media. Yes, you are. You can go from somebody giving you a divine channel message to hearing about what done happened with Diddy and where is he at and what's going on and another victim. Y'all can shift from dimensions just that quick. Just that quick. But you got to be in an awareness because look, when you shut down that social media and you go on about your business, remember you done shifted 3, 4, 5 different times and you still shifting. When you get off that social media, you still shifting. So if you are a scroller, start being quick on the scroll when you even sense that it's something that's getting ready to take you out of where you want to be. Quick, quick. See, they try to get snazzy on you. I saw on social media now where they got it where sometimes you can't scroll. You stuck on that screen watching whatever it is that is on and you forced to watch it. I said, oh, I got something for y'all. I got something for y'all. Baby, I will turn that app off so quick. And then when you come back to it, you can go on. Ain't nobody playing with them. Ain't nobody playing with the powers that be that are trying to keep us in these certain frequencies. See, we're not doing it. We're not gonna do it. All right. So we know third dimension is body, fourth dimension is mind. Guess what that fifth dimension is? What we're dealing with? That's soul. That's soul, yes, no duality. It's no good or bad in that fifth dimension. That ain't where it resides. No duality resides in the fifth dimension. That's 500 hertz to 700 hertz, baby. We in that fifth. We in that fifth, 500 to 700 hertz. When you are in that dimension, you vibrating at 500 to 700 hertz. Feel the buzz. You vibrating, vibrating, vibrating. What's at that frequency? Love, joy, peace, enlightenment. Now you see why a lot of us don't stay there very long. We in and out. We in and out. Even the best of them. I'm not gonna say specific names, but it's some people really high up in the spiritual community that are doing stuff. And you can feel they high vibe when you see them on the screen, or when you hear the words, you can feel it. Y'all better understand that 500 to 700 may be a lot of the percentage of time where they spend their time, but they got some more percentages in 4 and 3D. Y'all understand it, because we're still in this density. And then some people say, well, you know what, Dawn, the earth is split. We got a 3D earth and a 5D earth. Absolutely, we do. And we splitting our time in between both of them. We're splitting our time in between them. This is why I'm saying our goal is to increase the amount of time that we're spending in 5D. That's where we're moving towards and working on right now in this moment. But see, it gets real difficult, y'all. It gets real difficult because we could be in 5D, and no sooner than we in 5D, something 3D happens. Somebody done got sick, somebody in the hospital, somebody died. You done lost your job. You can't pay a bill. You done this, and then it shifts you down. It bring you down, right? Because that's that third dimensional earth experience. That's that third dimensional earth experience pulling you down into the experience, right? So then you come out of 5. Because look, you try to stay in your 5D place and you go, okay, I know that I can have and do all things. Like, I am a higher dimensional being. I know that this is but an experience. I know this source got me. You can talk yourself through it. You can talk yourself through it and shift yourself into it. But then that emotion hits. That emotion hits. So then guess what? Relinquish it. Relinquish it. Give into it. Feel it. Go ahead and feel your way into it. If you got to get sad, go ahead and get sad. If you got to get afraid, go ahead and get afraid. If you have to get upset, go ahead and get upset. Get through the emotion, feel through that emotion. And once you feel through it, pull it on back. See, what I don't want you to do is suppress the emotion and say, oh, I want to stay in 5D. I want to stay in 5D. I can't get mad. I can't get mad. I can't get sad. I can't get afraid. I can't get. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because that's going to work against you. Because remember now, we ain't got time to push stuff down in order to bring it back up and out for transmutation. We're going to go ahead and feel through it and get it over with and pull it out and heal it on the spot. We're going to do it right there. Okay? Because that's part of our 5D awareness. Understand it. It's okay to feel yourself through it. Okay? Now, remember, in 5D, we all about self-mastery, baby. No competition. We know that there's more than enough abundance on the planet for everybody. So we're all one big happy family on earth in 5D. We know that. Now I'm going to tell y'all something. Spiritual teachers, healers, channelers, activators, they got a little bit of jealousy in them. They got a little bit of competitiveness in them. They got a little bit of wanting a little more of the market share when it comes to clientele and abundance and money. They got a little bit of that in them. Why? Because they're wearing this uniform. They're wearing this uniform. So then what they got to do? They got to balance. They got to balance that spirit body and this human body. So guess what they got to do when they do that? Shift out of that 5D. Because remember, in 5D, none of that exists. We ain't got no duality. We ain't got none of that. But the moment we get into that, what I just told you, we got to come on out of 5D. We got to come on out of it. Y'all watch y'all spiritual teachers and healers and people you following, and tell them somebody else that you follow, that you like, or that you feel their energy and see if they warm and receptive. Or if you can feel a little bit of that, ooh, a little competitiveness in them, or a little ego being burned, or a little whatever. See if you feel it a little bit. Just see. They're human. They are human. I want to bring this up because, see, look, I need y'all to understand that 5D life. That 5D life ain't what you're thinking right now. It's not what you're thinking right now because we ain't in that 5D life all the way, all the time. Understand that. So because we're not, you are experiencing a multitude of things as it relates to your ascension, your experiences, and your awareness. Hold on, let me get to these comments, y'all, because y'all over here saying some stuff. I haven't acknowledged one comment. Let me take it back. Kim says, the closer I get to source, the more I have to release fear and guilt. The source is pure love. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, we teach what we need to learn. Yep. Yep. Y'all know that in them shadows. When we do them shadow lessons, I'm always bringing up my life and my experience because I'm sharing it with y'all because I'm healing it in me. That's what we're doing. You don't want someone in front of you who says, I'm healed from everything. Baby, I'm perfect. I've been through it all. Nothing else left but to help y'all. If somebody come at you like that, you go, you side eye. You side eye at this point. I'm not saying we won't get there, but you side eye at this point. Someone says facts, matching the same energy is how I've been the majority of my life. Hutch says that's kind of what's happening at the current moment. Our energies are so high and YouTube is freezing on this live. Um, Kim says, wow, yes, I noticed the emails that I used to read that have been keeping me in 3D. I just delete, delete, delete. That's a good example. The emails. Delete. Y'all don't delete my emails, even though I be advertising stuff and I get on y'all nerves. Don't delete them. Don't do that. Korean says, playing double dutch between realities. Yes, yes. Hush says, we are more aware of the splitting of earth, feel and purge it out. That's what I'm learning. Korean says, trying not to suppress and not fully feel and process my emotions. Yeah. You got to feel your way through it. Y'all suppress no more emotions. Even if you say, I'm trying to keep my frequency high, you're going to bring it down by not addressing the emotions, especially in that moment. Get them out in that moment. Somebody piss you off? Then say they pissing you off. You ain't gotta say it to them, but say it. Speak it. Speak it out of you and transmute it. Yeah. Kim says, thank you so much, Dr. D. I needed to hear this. Okay. It's like when we engage with 3D behaviors, I feel we are also healing the collective. Absolutely, absolutely. That's a good point. When we go down, or I shouldn't say go down, but when we change our frequency, when we get down to that 20 to 175 hertz, and we get into the fear, into the grief, into the anger, into the whatever, we saying, okay, let me get down and dirty with it. Let me address it. Let me transmute some of this energy and heal the collective and not just myself. Because what y'all doing, remember now, your experience is a projection of you. Okay, so if you projecting it, you feeling it, you healing it, it's part of the collective, moving the collective further. Somebody says purging. Absolutely, purging. Y'all understand it. Get into it. Get into it. Now, what does spiritual healing look like? Do y'all understand what spiritual healing look like? We talking about 5D. So if you in 5D, everybody thinks in 5D, baby, we healed. We are beyond all of that other stuff that that we are carrying subconsciously, trying to heal, trying to move forward. Okay, you in 5D, that spiritual healing look like connecting with your inner child. Can you do that real good? Can y'all connect? We're trying to do it on Thursdays with that shadow work. We're trying to get into that inner child, connect with your inner child. What about connecting with nature? Yeah. Spiritual healing always involves connecting with nature, baby. It's so much energy in nature, so much energy and messages and wisdom in nature. Connecting with the ancestors, baby. Who connecting with the ancestors, right? Yeah. If you haven't yet, it's coming. It's coming. Because look, as you start to heal, you got to remember your DNA is connected to your ancestors. So as you're healing DNA, you're healing them, and they're coming through. A lot of times they're coming through because they're coming up as it relates to this DNA. So you're connecting with ancestors when you start spiritual healing or when you're going through spiritual healing. Connecting with your heart. Yeah, y'all gonna be noticing that. Y'all gonna start feeling other people's pain. You're gonna start like being very sentimental and very heartfelt with things that you used to turn your head at or not even bat an eye. Yeah, you're gonna connect with that heart as you start to spiritually heal. Come on. If y'all doing this, we in that 5D. We in that 5D. All right. Now, when you are healing spiritually, you connecting to those things, but you also disconnecting from some stuff. What are you disconnecting from? Programming, the programming here on earth. You got to go to school, you got to get a degree, you got to get married, you got to have kids, you got to buy a house, you got the programming. You start disconnecting from that. How about disconnecting from what you were taught? Got to go to church every Sunday. Um, you gotta reach out to your family members, your elders, regardless of how they treat you, out of respect. Yeah, You start disconnecting from what you were taught, things that don't resonate with you anymore. Yeah, when you start spiritual healing. How about disconnecting from things that don't heal you or build you up? Baby, that's a big one. When you start noticing, you say, hey, wait a minute, wait a minute. I don't need to do this no more because this serves no purpose in my life. Not only does this not serve a purpose, but you don't serve a purpose. How about that? Why am I even around you? When you start realizing and recognizing things that don't heal you or build you up, baby, you spiritually healing. You spiritually healing. Because see, before that, you don't recognize it. You don't recognize it. You don't see it. You don't want to accept it. You don't want to react on it. When you start remembering who you really are, you say, wait a minute, now I'm a powerful divine being of light, honey. I am never alone. I am connected to the source. There is nothing you can say or do to hurt me. When you start remembering who you really are, baby, you spiritually healing. Mm-mm. You coming out of that woe is me, that oh everything happens to me, and oh there's that. You coming out of that, baby. You spiritually healing. When you are releasing or relearning everything again, with a new set of eyes, baby, you spiritually healing. I'm learning. Let me tell you, when you're spiritually healing, you're learning the educational system that you came up under differently. The religious system, you're learning it differently. You're learning like finances and how to increase wealth differently. You're relearning everything all over again because everything you've been taught and shown is not it. It's not it. So when you find yourself relearning everything, we spiritually healing. We spiritually healing. Where we at? We in 5D when we doing all this stuff? Or we on our way? We got one foot in, one foot out when we spiritually healing. Yeah, yeah. Because remember, when you get to 5D, all this stuff don't exist that I'm talking about. It's but a memory. It's but an experience. So it's another timeline. It's something you did way before. Okay, because you are enlightened, honey. You are in a place of joy, peace, love. None of this exists. So guess what? While you're spiritually healing, you got one foot in, 5D, one foot out. Ain't nothing wrong with being in that place. Y'all stop trying to rush it and always say, I want to get to 5D or I'm in 5D. Go through the spiritual healing in the fourth dimension. Come on. I told y'all before, play in it, experience it. This is a once in a lifetime. Well, not once in a lifetime. This is an earth experience like no other. Get into it. Look, let's talk about this because as we're spiritually healing, what are we doing? We integrating that shadow. We got to integrate that shadow. I want to tell y'all something. When we understand that we can't have the light without the dark, the two must they coexist. You can't see the light without having the dark to illuminate. Okay, when we realize this in the duality, because that's where I sit. I told you guys. I say it all my lives over and over again. I don't try to sugarcoat nothing. I don't try to tell y'all, oh, I'm sitting in the fifth dimension all the time and y'all in the fourth and the third. I don't do that. Y'all never hear Dr. Dawn say that. I tell you all the time, baby, I'm teeter-totter and I'm in duality. And I am literally in and out of the fifth, in and out of the fifth. You tell on yourself. Let me tell you how people tell on themselves. When you openly admit that you have life lessons that you are still continuing to learn, okay, that there are still some things here on earth that you got to do, then you are not all the way in the fifth, okay? And so that's okay. That's okay. You want and seek beings who are in that place of awareness and experience. Okay? So when we integrate the shadow, shadows follow you, baby. They illuminate your actions. That's why we love shadows, because the shadows will bring to your foresight and your awareness what you're doing or what you shouldn't be doing. All the time. In order to have light, you must have a shadow. Shadow is a reflection of light. It can't exist without the other. Some only choose to look at the light and not address the shadow. Now, I keep getting on y'all spiritual teachers, leaders, channelers, the community. I keep getting on that because what do they highlight all the time? The light, the light, the light. They feel like if they address anything relating to the dark, they bring in the frequency down. They're bringing it down. We don't want to bring the frequency down. So we can't talk about fear. We can't talk about, guilt or sadness. We can't talk about that because we're going to pull the energy down. No, 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 no. Dr. Dawn gonna give you both. We're gonna talk about both because they both are playing a part. in your journey and your awareness and in your healing. So we're going to bring up both so that when we are faced with or we encounter the shadows, the dark, the frequencies that reside in 20 to 175 hertz, we're ready for them. We standing. We standing ready. We on ready. We stay ready because we like, okay, I'm gonna feel my way through it. And guess what? Boop, done. Done. We're gonna keep doing that until we don't feel anything with those emotions. Mm. We're going to keep feeling till we don't feel anymore. That's why it's important to go ahead and let yourself feel at them frequencies. Okay? Because my perception of you is a reflection of me. If I look at you and I say, ooh, she functioning at 100 hertz. Oh my goodness, she need to get out that frequency. She 3D. She low ride. Baby, that's me. That's me. That's me because I'm at that frequency because I'm saying that. You can only say that if you at that frequency. Do you get that? Do you get it? So how I perceive you is a reflection of how I perceive or where I am in these hertz in that moment. Our goal, you guys, in this journey is no triggers, no triggers, no triggers, no triggers. We can be faced with some of these things that we are being shown about ourselves, fear, guilt, desire, anger. We can be faced with that, but it's how we respond. Because if we respond in the way that takes us down to that 20 to 175 hertz, it done triggered us. If it triggers us, that means we're unhealed. If it's unhealed, we got to go looking for why we're unhealed and then we got to address it. So the goal is no triggers. Okay. A lot of times things are true that people say about us or that we think about ourselves, but we don't want to admit it. Why we won't admit? Why we look, Dr. Dawn will admit all day long. I do one-on-one sessions with y'all. And I know that my life path and purpose involves me become a good listener, a good listener. Now, I always tell my spirit guys how I'm supposed to listen. I'm trying to be a good listener, but I'm trying to listen to you all and listen to them. And so sometimes I'm jumping in with them because I don't want to lose what you're saying. So it looks like I'm not a good listener sometimes. It looks like I'm jumping in or I'm, not letting them finish because I'm trying to get the information out before I forget it. What my spirit guys say? Write it down. That ain't no excuse. Write it down. Your life path involves you being a good listener. So we looking, we nudging, we guiding, we're cueing you when you're not being a good listener. Because that's on your life path. See, I couldn't even talk my way out of it. Couldn't even make an excuse. My higher self was like, girl, no, let me check you on something. Let me check you on something. So the more you can admit the things that you know you are working towards or that you are addressing and coming to your awareness that, ooh, it's coming up for me to deal with. Come on, y'all. Stop hiding from them. Stop denying them. Take the accountability because with accountability comes authenticity. You cannot be authentic unless you're being accountable. And that's where there's a huge disparaging gap in between the spiritual community. Baby, the accountability sometimes is out the window. But everybody be talking about they authentic. Everybody be talking about they authentic, but they want to take accountability. Not just from outside people, but from themselves. I welcome triggers. Let me tell you why I like triggers. Triggers are good because they make me aware of what I need to release, what I need to work on in that moment. Because baby, it'd be a lot of y'all triggering me in these sessions. And I'd be like, okay, wait a minute. Why am I getting triggered? Why am I getting triggered? So see, you guys are part of my path just as much as I'm a part of yours. Because it shows me what is still needing to be transmuted and healed. This is why Dr. Dawn goes into the fifth sometimes. Well, not sometimes, what I'm talking about. She goes into the fifth, get the information to give to you, but then she'll come down to the fourth and the third to talk about it with you because she's not only healing you, but healing herself in the process. So I'm a firm believer and I'm a firm person that will tell you honestly and truthfully, honey, I'm in between 4, 5, and a lot of times, and sometimes three. Sometimes three. Can I say that I'm without anger? No, I cannot. Can I say that? Can I say that I'm without grief? No. Can I say I'm without? No, I can't say I'm without sadness. No. So as long as I know I have these emotions, I know there's some third dimensional things in me. Third dimensional things in me transmuting. All right, let me get some comments over here. Okay. I've been spiritually healing and it feels good. I learned to accept my family is not on the same page most times, not even in the same book. And it's okay. Appreciate this confirmation. You're welcome. You're welcome. Come on, heal yourself from that. You guys heal yourself from familial generational traumas that you're carrying and that you're here in this lifetime to stop in your generational cycle and to heal through you and your awareness. Um, to the best of your ability, do not put any condition of anything or people such as unconditional love, gratitude, forgiveness, etc. Unconditionalism. Okay. Kim says, "Oh boy, do I have lessons." Don't you love that you can pick them out now? I love that I can see the lessons. Before when we were in the beginning of this thing, this evolution, we'd be like, how do I know what my life lessons are? How can I? Well, we know now, don't we? We have evolved into being aware of these lessons. We can't get away from them. Oh, I love that. Bevistar says if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. That's right. Stay ready. I'm always in ready mode. I expect what they say, uh prepare for the worst, expect the best, prepare for the worst, something like that. However that go, I stay on ready. I'm like, okay, divine being of light. All things are divinely guided and for my highest good. But then when the worst comes, I gotta stay ready for that too. I gotta stay ready and say, okay, it's coming to me and through me. And it's something I'm getting ready to get from this. Let me hold on. Let me hold on while I'm going through it. Natasha says, I've also seen a few creators that were love and light only, and their guides practically smacked them into shadow work. Come on. They excelled more as a result of showing their authenticity finally. Absolutely, Natasha. Absolutely. Because see, these guys ain't playing. They looking like, now I know y'all ain't down there trying to act like you are source incarnated, but since you're down there, you come with some flaws while you're down there. Now y'all trying to act like y'all don't have no baby. Your higher self and spirit team will get you together. They'll start illuminating some stuff to you real quick and real fast and show you are not too many steps beyond these individuals you are trying to assist. Y'all, humility. The humility is big in the spiritual community when you choose to take on a role where you are at the forefront or in front of the collective, like this. What they say, too much is given, much is expected. Like, yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. Don't you get in front of that camera trying to act like you are so much better than, higher than, or evolved than the collective and the individuals you're talking to. Maybe they'll get you together. They will get you together. Katadra says, I had to put a small notebook in my purse to write the things down so I don't forget. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Honey, we got to make some accommodations for some of these spiritual, enlightening moments of wisdom that we get here, there, everywhere. Because my memory, it's like my brain capacity. I can't hold a lot like I used to. So I got to write everything down because the information comes so fast. Freedom says, I love that, Freedom. I can still get triggered by my fiance, but those are valid feelings. So I can just ignore them, but I can observe myself in the lower emotions. I love how you say you still get triggered, but those are valid feelings. I love that. I love how you place validity on the feelings. Come on. And you feeling your way through it. You're not running from it. You're not going to ignore it. You ain't going to smile through it. You say, I'm going to feel my way through it. I'm going to feel it. That's what we must do now. Don't camouflage it and suppress it, saying and believing you got to do that to stay in the fifth dimension. Don't do that. Don't do that. You pull yourself more and more away from the fifth dimension when you do that. That is where you create distance and space. Um, Freedom says, what do you do about loneliness on this journey if you live alone? Oh, child, Freedom, that's a loaded question. Everybody who's on this journey at some point feels isolated, lonely, and in hermit mode. It's part of it. It's part of it. I want you to take that loneliness and I want you to transmute it, embrace it, and look at it from another perspective and say, okay, spirit, you got me all alone on purpose because you need my attention, you need my awareness, and you need my connectedness during this time. I understand that. So understand that during this time, we got to have a one-on-one. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Let's go. Let's go. What we doing? What we working on? Because that's all that loneliness is. It's isolation while you're going through the period of one-on-one training, if you will, one-on-one training. So get through it by changing your perspective on why you are lonely. That's the only reason you're lonely. Any other reason that you tell yourself is that third dimensional part of you that wants to keep you suppressed and wants to keep you in those 20 to 175 hurt feelings of guilt, of hurt, of pain, of depression, of whatever. Don't let it do it. Don't do it. Change the perspective and see it for what it really is. Time for you to have one-on-one right now. Your undivided attention is needed. Um, Elena says the biggest stumbling block of authenticity is the acceptance of not being like. Come on now. Come on. Is that not a shadow work? Detaching from what other people think. Baby, I got a surprise for y'all on Thursday. I got a guest coming on. And when she start talking, that's one of the things we're going to talk about. The acceptance of not being liked or detaching from the idea that people don't like you. Come on, that's shadow work at its finest. Shadow work at its finest. Because guess what? Some of us are dealing with the shadow of needing to be validated. That's all being liked is. Being liked or wanting to have friends or be around people is that you need validation. What you need validation for? Why you need somebody else to validate you? What done happened in your journey that you need or request validation from an outside person? That's what we got to look at. That's what you got to look at. See? Because that is what's keeping you from being your authentic self. I told y'all, I gave y'all my whole example. My natural hair versus a wig. That will tell you I must have needed validation. My natural hair, maybe I felt like it made me look too ethnic. Maybe I felt like it made me look like a boy or not like feminine. Maybe that is the shadow that came up for me to deal with. You see? You see? Now look, when you confront that shadow, now what happens in that fourth dimension? What they say you're going to demonstrate in that fourth dimension? Courage. You're going to step out of your comfort zone. You're going to do something you would normally do. You're going to do something that's going to make you feel uncomfortable. And you stepping that foot into the fourth dimension and you moving into it and you're stabilizing in it because you say, okay, I'm in it. I'm in it now. I'm in it because I'm demonstrating courage. And with that comes the authenticity. Mm-hmm. When you get to that point of not caring what nobody say a thing, baby, I don't care. I don't care. Now, maybe I cared 2, 3 years ago. Maybe even last year I would have cared. I don't care now. That's how I know I'm evolving. That's how I know. That's how you know you're evolving when you don't care. As long as you care, we got to find out why you care. Okay. Chosen 144. You can relate to freedom. Now remember, y'all, freedom was talking about the loneliness. Chosen 144 says, I can relate. I found activities and events to ground, connect with others, travel, try new spiritual hobbies, but most of all, get more connected and tapped in. There you go. That's what I said, Chosen 144. Get connected and tapped in. When you get connected and tapped in, all those things you just mentioned, connecting with others, traveling, trying new hobbies, baby, it comes. It comes because you tapped in and connected. And then your antenna is up. And then you pulling in energetically what is needed to help clear, evolve, and shift you into that feeling of not being lonely. But guess what? You got to connect. It's all about connecting first. There you go. That's that one-on-one. That's what spirit is trying to show you. That's what source is doing. Let me send you some downloads and some encouragement and comfort. Successful trillionaire says we are not alone. We always are surrounded by our spirit guides, ancestors, and divine guidance. Absolutely. That's another reason a lot of us are usually isolated and kept alone, because you gotta recognize that. How do you recognize that? By getting your undivided attention. And when you get your undivided attention, you start to notice these little paranormal or anomalies or synchronistic things that have been happening all along, but you ain't paid no attention because you've been too busy lifing. So now life has got to come to a halt a little bit, make you be by yourself, so then you can see these things and experience them and get the feeling of never being alone. Y'all get that? You see? So anytime something happens in life that causes you to be alone, always know it's not a bad thing. It's always spiritually motivated. That's always what it is. You're not a bad person. You're not meant to be alone. You're not going to be alone the rest of your life. Just this moment in life, you have to be alone to bring you into the awareness that you ain't never alone. Woo, baby, the spirituality, this spiritual thing is something, ain't it? Once you get into it, it's something. Y'all can't go back though. Don't be trying to say, I'm just gonna go back and forget this. No. Once you activate it, you activated, you in it. So y'all better just get into it, ground yourself, plant your feet firmly on the ground and stand in it. And let's go on and walk through it. Freedom says, I'm grateful for you, Dr. Dawn, and everybody right here in my living room with me keeping me company. Come on. That's right. I told you. Y'all chatting this chat. We family up in here. You would not be drawn to this live if you weren't energetically a match. I'm going to tell you that. Even the people who choose not to chat, you drawn here, even if you trolling, trying to be nosy and see what I'm doing, you're still drawn here because energetically there's something that's matching you in this moment that is needing for you to be for you to hear or to experience at this time. So y'all better understand it. Understand you're never anywhere you're not supposed to be. Even if you somewhere where you're not lining up with the person or it ain't resonating to you or you needed to be there because you needed to experience what it's like to not resonate. Remember what I told you about that shadow? We need the shadow and the light in this duality. You got to see what you don't like and resonate with to see what you do resonate with. You're never anywhere you're not supposed to be. Come on, y'all. All right. Any more? You got to give me a lot of comments. Okay. So when we talk about 5D life, now we're going to say that with a different lens and a different meaning and a different thought process behind that, okay? Because we don't have to run around bragging about it. We don't. We don't brag about being in 4D. That's just as good. I take 4D because 4D is such a significant awareness in terms of what's happening on this planet. 4D ain't a bad place to be right now. It just is not. Understand. Understand. I'll tell anybody gladly. I have stood among many people who claim to be so high frequency, so high vibe, so not of this world, so visiting, so whatever. I have stood right along them, next to them, and said, well, welcome to Earth. Welcome to the planet where we do this and we do that. We're not all in one frequency. We're all varying according to how we're experiencing our life and our world on this planet, and none of us are wrong. So if none of us are wrong, you can't be right. Ooh, y'all see that? Because you'll get some spiritual leaders and teachers or whatever that want you to feel as if what they're saying is right. It is the essence or the core or the correct way of being, seeing, and doing things. I ain't gonna tell you that, Dr. Dawn. I ain't gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you, look, I'm sharing with you my experience. Okay? It ain't right or wrong, it's just my experience. I'm not going to tell you to do this, and this. I'm not. Even when I teach my classes, I tell you, look, I'm teaching you guys based off my experience. My experience. What was downloaded to me, I'm going to give it to you. Now you take it and do what you want. Make it your own. But no one person can tell you the walk to walk when it comes to this spiritual journey. They just can't. There is no doctrine on how you can live your experience. Once you understand that, once that is clear, you're going to start getting in the momentum of freedom and out of the momentum of systems. Okay? We're very much still into the systemic systems that are put in place and have been put in place for lifetimes and lifetimes. Okay? Questions. Chosen 144 says you are protected at Freedom. I have zero friends since I began to awaken, and my kids have left the nest, always practicing an attitude of gratitude. Mhm. Be happy that you're here. Be happy that you were chosen to have this experience on earth during this time. And be happy that you're in an awareness that you are transmuting and evolving, but beyond the past earth systems and awareness that we've been in. It's a lot to be grateful for right now. And again, as I told you guys in the beginning, everyone is being placed in their designated positions. You all are getting in position. I don't care what you're doing, where you are in your journey, where you are in your awareness, or what dimension you're operating in. Everybody's being placed in their designated positions. Now, everybody has that feeling, right? That something's coming around the corner. Something's coming and coming soon. We have that feeling. That's part of this integrating into this fifth dimensional energy. Everybody doesn't feel that, but most people feel it. Those of us who are integrating into the 5D, we're feeling something is coming and something is around the corner, and we need to get ready and we need to get aware and we need to be on alert. Whatever that is, we ready, right? We're going to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. Mm. I love Mystical Mondays. I love, love, love it. I had told myself, I said, you know what? After tonight, I said, I'm going to take 2 weeks off because I need to shut down for 2 weeks to regroup. But then I sat with that for a little bit. And then I said, well, not yet. I'm going to take it. I'm going to regroup at some point, but not yet. Not yet. I'm going to keep going. Um, I want you guys to know Thursday night on Shadow Work session number 3, we're going to have a guest. I'm going to have I Feel You, I Am You come on. Y'all know her. Y'all know her. She's a light code activator and channeler. And her name says it all. I Feel You, I Am You. We're going to do some shadow work. We're actually going to be getting into what Elena said earlier about the biggest stumble block of being authentic is the acceptance of not being liked. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into that. She and I have had a very in depth discussion about that as it relates to our journeys, being not just content creators, but in the spiritual community and not being liked all the time. Yeah, where everybody gets that from all angles while you're here on this planet. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. And we're going to have her come on because in the past two shadow work sessions, we've actually focused on some of, as I say, the dark parts of shadow work, the traumas, the childhood traumas. But she's the opposite. She's the one that takes that childhood and shows us how to be free and how to connect with the inner child, the fun part that is unequivocally not attached to this grid or this system yet. And so she's the parallel of what we do. So we're gonna bring her on and we're gonna talk and do some things on Thursday. I hope y'all will come. We will be live on Instagram and YouTube at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all don't want to miss it. I think it's gonna be great. She and I talked one on one over the weekend, and baby, she was about to cry. I was about to cry, but see, we two empaths, two hardcore empaths. And y'all know she was on my show that one time. She had me crying. I said, girl, you're not going to make me cry Thursday. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. But she's so healing. She's so healing. Y'all get into authenticity. Start getting into authenticity of the people who you are connecting your energy to. Okay? Both in your actual reality and in your social media reality. Start being aware. Start being aware. Okay? Um, Oh, Freedom says, I love her. Good, good. Glad you do. Glad, glad, glad. I had a person living with me, which was one of my lessons to deal with. I'm so happy that is resolved and so very grateful for my peace and solitude. Excellent, excellent. Glad you guys are in the realization of when these things are coming up for you to address and transmute. Um, all right. Okay. Any more questions? Again, I'm going to remind you guys the psychic development course. Now I have 2 spots available. I have one, now I have 2. Someone has canceled. So I want to offer that now. Before I put it on all my platforms, there is a discount code. It is $100 off of the class if you use the code psychic, all caps, PSYCHIC 2024, no space. Make sure you use that if you want to sign up for the course. It starts June 23rd. So we're going to be doing some things. It's going to go from June to August 18th. So it runs for almost 2 months. So we're going to be gearing up for that. So you guys make sure you check out my website, discoveringyourinnerlight.com. Get some information about the course, more detailed, and sign up if you want to be in it, okay? I feel as if it's going to fill up before the end of this week, these last two spots, but just want to make sure I tell you guys there's now a promo code. Y'all know I love to give a promo code. I do it. And just thank you so much for reminding me. You guys, please hit the like button and the subscribe button if you have not. I would appreciate that. You help assist this algorithm with getting this information out to the collective and to those who are like us, who are moving forward on their journey. If there is nothing else, you guys, thank you so much for coming. You're thanking me, but I want to thank you for coming on Monday nights. I can't do it without y'all. And the chat is growing. Look at the chat. Look at how many people are in here. I love it. These numbers are going up. I am so grateful. So grateful. Thank you so much. If that's it, you guys, I will see you on Thursday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right back here on YouTube or Instagram. You choose, and we're going to do some shadow work session number 3, okay? All right, I appreciate you guys too. Thank you so much, and good night.